think I'm just gonna die.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. For like the last 5 months, I've been able to like crack my neck. One of those things that I'm just like doing this and then my neck just goes.
And you haven't been able to do it recently?
No, I can.
So why do you want to die?
It's like fearful. I feel like one time I'm just gonna crack my neck. I just go.
I mean, maybe.
Like
there was a time where I could crack my back like a lot.
I feel like
Have you ever laid on one of those things where you like you lay it on your back and then it kind of has like this like hump in it and then you can change
You mean
like the angle?
The rollers?
No, well, it's not like an actual foam roller, but it's something with like a similar aspect. Instead of rolling back and forth, you just lay on it.
No, I have not done that.
Wild.
I'm not a big fan of the foam roller thing. It's a lot of pressure and it's not very comfortable.
I like doing it for my legs too.
For my legs, it feels good.
Great.
But Clarkulus Marculus has like 17 of them. He's got the little wheel and the medium wheel and the big wheel and the wheel with the track down the back so that you can put your spine right in it. It doesn't hurt. It definitely does feel better than the other ones. And then he has the foam roller that's smooth and the foam roller that's ridged and the foam roller that's like.
I had a really small one that it was like shit. I did not like it.
I don't love the feeling of just like, I don't know. I feel
you
like
ever get one of those
five-year-old.
massage guns and just go to fucking town?
Yeah, but not on my back.
Well, that's why you got Amanda now. You know?
No good it's doing me today. Anyway. Oh my goodness.
But also like all the renovations that we're doing to our office probably take a toll.
I don't know.
Dude,
the place looks fucking unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, it does. It looks great. But just like my dad, when I went home the other day and I sent you a video of him just pulling down a tree, I'm like, dude, you are, I don't know, close to 70 years old. You're still working your ass off. You know what his reason was behind getting this tree down?
I would love to. I've been wondering this. It's not like one tree. It's not like a field of green and then a tree in the middle. It's like you guys live in the forest and there's one tree sitting there that he pulled down.
Yeah. So I guess he had planted like some seed or something around that area for grass to grow because otherwise it was just dirt forever.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, well, the leaves from this tree are blocking the sunlight to coming down and helping the grass grow.
You guys live in the middle.
So he was like, the only way to fix this. And keep in mind, my driveway, like it goes all the way down. My house is here. This tree is over here, nowhere really near the house. And he wants grass to grow there, which great. But he chopped it down just so the sunlight could come down and the grass around that could grow. Yeah.
Oh, dads. That's what life used to be about.
Yeah.
It's funny. We were talking yesterday. We were talking about how little kids today are eating like sushi and octopus and like other shit that it's not that they don't need to be. It's that the election to do so has created this environment where it's like I don't know. It's like Yeah, like a commonplace thing.
Yeah.
And you've got like 10-year-olds that are like, oh, I want to get a sushi roll too. And I'm like, bro, you need chicken fingers and French fries. And they're like, no, I'm gonna get a salmon sandwich, a salad, and a sushi roll. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like I vibe with the health, I vibe with the experience of giving your kids like different shit, but it's just so expensive.
Yeah,
like it's become expensive to like live that life. Where we grew up was like making a home, taking care of the yard. I don't think people do enough of that today.
No. One of my core memories when I was a kid, and okay, when I say core, like not one of the greatest ones, but like relating to trees, I should say, is my dad and some of his buddies.
Tell me you made a tree house.
No.
Oh, come on,
I remember like being in the house and my dad and his buddies were over and they're like, we're going to pull this fucking tree down. So they started like chopping away at it. I'm just sitting there looking out this window. There's like 4 guys pulling a rope and pulling this tree down. As it starts falling down, they sprint the other direction to get out of the way. And then it just slams. Remember it. Yeah.
Wow. First world problems, I guess. But as it pertains to today's topic, we were talking about the market change and Fannie Mae creating more opportunity for multifamily residents and multifamily home buyers by lowering the initial upfront cost down payment.
Have you had anybody call you, or have you been talking about in your clients?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I didn't think so.
Honestly, it literally actually doesn't change shit.
I know.
I'm not saying that it won't benefit anybody, because it definitely will. There's a huge, tremendous opportunity out there, but it won't change shit, because the person that's still looking for the multifamily property with 10 grand in their pocket is still going to be limited. The person that's looking to buy 17 units can't use this program. And then the person that maybe possibly fits into this qualifying criteria has to be of credit mind with not enough cash flow to not choose to go the route of an FHA borrower.
Yeah.
And it's like the only advantage here is really to have the ability to avoid mortgage insurance in the future. And I do value that opportunity, but it's not that big of a difference. It shouldn't change shit.
Yeah, I don't think it really will by any means. If anything, obviously you probably have more people kind of like, they have that interest,
Hot.
They have that interest of like, oh, I want to now buy more multifamily. Right. Just like the same way that people are like, I want to get into investing. I want to do this. I want to do that. But then again, they might not take the time to learn, or they don't know exactly how we can do it. And they think this is another one of those shortcuts, get rich quick. And, they probably don't even fit the bill to get into that program.
I think.
And then you look at it again, like home prices now, like multifamily. The one thing that I love, some guy you said came to you was like, hey, I want a 3-unit property inside the Beltway. No,
he did not come to me.
I don't know.
He posted on a fucking Facebook group.
Okay.
It was like Maryland Investors Network, or like some 10,000 people. Yeah. And he said, I want a place inside the Beltway, multifamily or something close to the Beltway or something like that. Baltimore
and
County,
you were like under, I don't know, a certain price and whatever. And then you commented, yeah, so does everybody else.
Right. Like, it was just this moment where I was just like in a mood, and I just saw that post. I was like, who the fuck do you think you are?
But it's crazy because no matter what's going on in the market, everybody's going to want that. Everybody's going to want the deal, the nicest home on the block.
Right.
But then they can't conceptually like wrap their head around, oh, I might have to pay a premium. But then you think about it now, this premium price, it's only going to get more and more and more expensive, and the data tracks. No matter if interest rates are 8% or 5% or 2%. Tell me, do you want to buy at 2%? Do you want to buy at 8%? Do you want to pay 50 grand more, 100 grand more? And if we're talking about multifamily,
where's the sound clip that just goes like this?
I don't understand.
What like is the that? Mic drop. Like you just dropped the mic on everybody. You were just like, really, you have to get prepared to fucking pay a premium for it. And to be quite honest with you, if anything, this program creates an opportunity for more people with more money to qualify for less outlay. And for somebody that might take out the FHA buyer, that person that might have 10, 20, 30 grand, and that's their total cap, and they're looking to just get their life started, a 2-unit, a 3-unit, a 4-unit, and they're going to spend a premium, but they're going to get knocked out of the market because this person with 100 grand just realized that I can buy with only 5% down instead of 20.
Right.
Screw everybody. I'm going to buy everything here for a 5% premium because I'll pay 5 grand more for that one, and I'll pay 20 grand more for that one, and I'll pay $35,000 more for that one than I would have a week ago. But now I can buy all 3 instead of just buying one, because the same exact person just became, boom, buku rich with 5% down.
Yeah. And then then you got to think, with this new program, how much more competitive is the market going to get? Not just with that guy,
right?
Like the guy that's going to buy all the properties, but then you got to think
how many more guys are there going to be?
How many people exactly just like you are now inquiring about something like this? Well,
and are you prepared to pay a premium?
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, right?
But then people also look at it, it's like they're not going to make their money back. Oh, I don't want to spend this money. Oh, da, 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 da. Like.
Well, okay, so shameless plug, right? Shameless plug for eXp Realty, Real Realty, Real Brokerage, whatever they call themselves, right? We're similar models here. And there's a lot of opportunity by cutting out the expenses that your traditional brokerage model offers by giving yourself more money at these brokerages. Great. You made $1,000, you made $3,000, you made $20,000, and maybe you made $100. There's stories out there of people transitioning from traditional model to a new brokerage that make $100 grand. Good for you. Super impressed. But the question becomes, what do you do with that money? And when we went under contract on our office, the very first thing that my sponsor said to me was, it's funny what you can do with all the money that you save. Now, we didn't actually make that much money in the transition. It wasn't that great of a transition for us financially.
Do you mean from
going from one
Berkshire
brokerage to
okay.
the next,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't that great of a transition financially for us. It's not like we had an extra $500,000 laying around to go buy this office.
Right.
But what it did create was it created a mentality that opened up a door. And that door was open. And when we were in the middle of negotiations, it was like, I'll pay a premium. I don't care. I want to get it.
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't know the interest rate. I didn't know the market. I didn't know how much cash to close. I didn't know anything. It was just about, I'll fucking go get it because I'll pay the premium. I don't care.
Right.
And meanwhile, we have people that are like, I need to know my cash to close. I need to know exactly what I'm going to pay. I don't want to pay more than a 6.25% interest rate. And I'm going to pay 82% of market value max.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, pick one. Just pick one and figure that shit out.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, but if you're not prepared to come to the market and give up on every single other one of those factors, like price or like interest rate or otherwise, you're not a real competitor in today's market.
Yeah. And then also like keep in mind these people that want to purchase these multifamily, the guy with $100,000, he's actually sitting down or like taking the time to understand really what's going on so he can make the best decision as to where like a lot of the people that are inquiring about whether it's this 5% new down payment program or whatever you call it. Yeah. They're like, they just want that.
Well,
they don't want any of the other stuff. And it's the same way, like one of my buyers will come to the market and say, hey, like I want to buy this home in this area, in this area, in this area, in this area. Oh, wait, I only want to spend this amount on my budget or this amount on the actual mortgage. And then I'm like, look, you know, you can have A, B, C, but D might be a little tough to get.
Right.
So if we can come at it from a different angle, and that's the conversation that they don't want to have. And that's the conversation that the multifamily guy that's buying all of them is kind of having.
Well, and the other thing is, what are we doing as far as building our portfolio, right? We're supposed to be over here buying one property to buy a second, to buy a third, right? These people want to buy multi-unit. Okay, great. We have 3 units, but we still only have one property.
Yeah.
But not only are we building a portfolio, we're also building like qualifying criteria. So are we looking to buy low income housing, traditional rentals with a high cap rate, great opportunity for ourselves where we're going to cash flow positive? Or are we looking to get something that's a long-term equity gain? How are we using this 5% down government-backed program to buy multifamily to build that portfolio versus utilizing maybe a conventional rehab loan, which does exist for this purpose? Conventional rehab loan does exist for multifamily, and it only requires like 3 or 5% down. It's the exact same thing. It's been there for fucking forever, but nobody wants to take the time to build their portfolio. They just want to chase after this like shiny penny, whatever the next thing that comes out in the market. And that's kind of like how we ended up here in the first place, is trying to talk about something relative. It's like we ended up right back where we started. And yet people don't realize that it should just be like a tool that they add to their portfolio belt and not the way that they're going to invest in real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still, it fucking boggles my mind that we're still talking about the Burr method, right?
Why do you say that?
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, you think nobody else in the world has thought about buying, renovating, refinancing? That's never happened. It just doesn't even make sense. Like, why are we still talking about it?
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it. So let's figure out, okay, now we have that tool. But when somebody comes to me and they're like, I want to do a Burr renovation, I'm like, you're an idiot, right? Like it should be in the back pocket. It's like nobody talks about hammers anymore, but there's 75 different types of hammers. They're talking about their oscillating tools and their fucking DeWalt pack out and Milwaukee bags, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's talking about hammers because it's like the fucking basic thing. But without one, you couldn't do the job. Everyone knows what the Burr method is and how it functions, and buy, renovate, refinance. I get it. But like, this is just another one of those things to add to our portfolio. It's not like this is the thing that's going to make someone rich. Yeah, right. Mic drop. We need like a...
Want the extra microphone to drop?
Yeah, right. But it doesn't make the audible. But it's just, I don't know. It's like, these things have me charged because I look at people and I just always say, you're not going to get rich off of one house. You're not going to get poor off of one house. Yeah. We had an investor today that took a property off the market, and that happens. He decided he didn't want to sell it for whatever reason. Oh, I'm going to rent it. I'm going to refinance it. I'm going to move my family in. I'm going to sell it at auction. I'm going to make improvements and try and sell it for more money by extending the house or otherwise. Like, these things happen. The thing that I've never understood is why would that be your decision after you've already made a decision?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's almost as though people see these shiny pennies and they're like, oh, I'm going to do the Burr method. And then they're like, oh, 5% down conventional. And then, oh, let me go do this. And then it's like, why don't we just bring it all together, use all the tools together, and we don't have to talk it. We don't have to tell the world that this is what we're doing. Right. It's amazing because now in 2023, we're starting to see the real true side of who people are. And there are so many businesses and opportunities that have come along in the last 3 to 5 years from market change.
Yeah.
That have just come out of fucking thin air, and they're literally dissipating back into the earth because they're not like permeating.
What we've seen in the past 6 months, year, give or take, I would argue maybe just 2023, are the people who are truly serious about what they want to do. And I think maybe leading into 2024, that's just going to be continuously what we'll see. Because
do we think that we're going to continue to see this, or do we?
Yeah. I think going into 2024, you're going to see the people who are serious about I don't want to use the term put their money where their mouth is, but like that could be a relatable term, right? Like if they really want to buy a house, they're going to fucking do it. They really want to buy this multifamily, they're going to fucking do it. If they're just relocating and they want to buy a house and they know, damn, I got to sell my house. This interest rate sucks.
Just think about this, right? Just think about this. If you bought a house, and don't quote me, don't fucking quote me. Don't go in the comments and tell me how wrong I am. I don't know the numbers, but I'm gonna throw some statistics out there, and it's like rough, right? If you bought a house in 1991 and your interest rate was like 11.5%, right? Did you make a bad investment?
No.
All right, so 30 years later today, you own that house outright. You've probably refinanced at least once, if not twice.
Yeah.
You probably refinanced in the late 90s when interest rates hit 5%. You might have refinanced in the turn of the decade, I guess, like 10 years ago, when interest rates first started getting to this 3 and 4%, right? Historic lows. And maybe you refinance strategically to pay yourself off faster. But if you bought back then, did you make a bad investment? What if you waited until 1995 or 1999? You were that person that right now today is looking at Y2K thinking that the world is going to end. And you're like, I'm not going to do anything because the computers are going to crash and the world is going to end and Y2K is going to blow the world up, right? If you were that person in 1999, well, come 2003, you're paying a premium for that same property. Yeah. Now, you bought in 2007, 2008. Don't talk to me about that. It's happened once in the entire history of the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one statistic that Ryan tells us is like when they started recording real estate in 1940, what were their...
I think it wasn't 1940. Maybe, was it?
He said I think he said 1940.
All right.
That when they started recording all the real estate statistics, that maybe there's been 4 years of it being in the red.
5 years, and it was 2 years, like 1991 and 1992 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then 2008, 9, and 10.
But then also like with 8, 9, and 10, it is more on the extreme side, but it's like an anomaly kind of thing.
But also, you also have to recognize that in 1991 and 1992 or whatever that was, it was like minus 0.1%.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, like it's no change.
8, 9, 10 was like minus 6.
Yeah.
Like huge. Like it's never fucking happened in the world. But the point is, that person that bought in 2000 versus buying in 2003 crushed it.
Yeah.
The market fucking went up skyrocketing in 2003, 2004, 2005, right? The person that bought in 91 versus 95, they made more money. They made a better investment in their future. So the people that buy today are going to have a more equitable position than the people that buy tomorrow. And I'm not saying for sure tomorrow versus today. But what I am saying is in 10 years time, today versus 2026, 2028, I don't care what numbers you're operating off of. I've got 3 years of growth and equity that I can build on. And even if I lost a couple years, I
told one of my clients the other day, they're like, I just want to make sure this is a good investment, kind of like moving down the line. I told her about when they started tracking real estate statistics, things like that. And there's people out there betting against that track record of real estate, right? And I told her, I was like, look, to kind of like, I don't want to say dumb this down, but make this a little bit more easier to understand. If you were at a casino and playing roulette and the whole wheel was red instead of green, or not, like the whole wheel was red, there was one space that was green.
Yes.
What are you betting on?
Red.
Right. So that's how we should treat this.
Bro, honestly, funny roulette situation. I fucking was playing red and black for a while. I had a great old fucking
What
time.
do you mean? Just that
Just
was the
sitting
only
there,
like
I
pattern
had,
thing.
let's just say I had $20 and I put it on red, and then I won and I got $40 and I put it on black, and then I won and I was like, oh, I'll put it back on black, and I literally like picked it up and every single, and I was moving it, and I was like, win. I don't know how much I had, maybe a couple $100. I was like having a great time.
Yeah,
it didn't matter. I was wasting time, and then I was like, I'll leave it on red, and then the wheel spun and I saw it didn't hit red, and I just walked away. And they like came and got me because it hit green, and apparently you get half your money back.
Oh, you were in Vegas? Some places do that.
Half your money back on
We don't
green.
do that shit in Maryland, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say every time that shit hits green when I'm in Maryland, they're like, see ya, kid.
Yeah, but like that. The point that I'm making here is that if you're going to be the person that sits there and bets red or black, you have the opportunity to make money. You're making money. You're losing money for sure. The person that's betting green is like hinging their bet, hoping that they get something. But in worst case scenario, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy to think that you're going to be that person that's going to like target the minute opportunity. And here's the bigger thing. Sorry to go, but I'm going. Here's the bigger thing. Some of the biggest names in real estate world, some of the moguls, richest people in real estate multifamily will tell you outright, point blank, do not buy your primary residence. Rent your primary residence. And here's what I'll tell to them. I don't disagree with you. I understand the fiscal responsibility that plays with renting a primary residence. I get it. The problem is that for the average Joe Schmo making 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 grand, and there we're talking more average, right? Like we're not going to $150,000 income earners. Good for you. Super impressed with everybody. But like for your average Joe, it's too difficult to acquire property without it being your primary residence because the feds have it locked down that you can buy with 5% down for a multifamily. Like, I don't understand why we're still talking about it. Why do we listen to people that have millions and billions and hundreds of millions of dollars? Like, there's so much opportunity out there, and they're going to sit there and be like, don't own your primary residence, rent. And you're like, okay, I'll listen to you. Like, for what?
Yeah.
You don't even own one yet.
Yeah.
What if you just bought a primary residence? And if you're smart, I'm going to throw Stephen Kettle a bone over here. Stephen bought a primary residence in Towson at a great price. He rented out to a friend. He had a roommate for a while, and then he found another property he wanted to buy down the street. He ended up buying another property at what I thought was a pretty darn good price. Rented out a room in his house to a friend, and then he rented his first primary residence. Now, 2 years later, dude is killing it. He's paying both mortgages off of his rental income, and he's able to save money to put down into other investments.
Yeah.
Sure, now Steven can move on and go rent property if that's what he wants to do. But for your first one, for your I'm going to get rich quick scheme, why don't you just buy with 3.5%, 4%, 5% down, 0% for VA and USDA borrowers? Create an opportunity for yourself to build some equity. And in 2 or 3 or 5 years, when the interest rates come down and the housing market goes up, you could tell me I'm right. In the meantime, I don't want to hear shit from anybody.
Gang.
I'm done. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I can't really top that.
I mean, I think the summary here is that there's opportunity out there for people to buy their primary residence.
I think there's opportunity. Again, it comes back to the statement I said last week. What was it? People are out there waiting for an opportunity instead of creating one.
Yes. Oh, you did say that. I did like that one.
You know?
That should be on your wall. Like, people are waiting for the opportunity instead of creating it. I like it.
And yeah, I think that's kind of where we track back to this week.
I think people aren't taking enough time figuring out what makes sense for them, and they're taking too much time trying to follow a path.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's a grant program, whether it's the VA. I mean, I just had a conversation with somebody that was looking for a VA mortgage, may not have had the right eligibility requirements, wasn't 100% sure. He's been fighting with the VA for 6, 7, 8 months. I'm like, bro, why don't we just get you into a conventional program and we can use the VA on your second one? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, there's 3% down options. We can buy you a conventional house. We could take advantage of a grant program. You could still be out of pocket very little money. We could create the opportunity for you. And yet he's just fighting with the VA. And I'm sure that I'm not the first real estate agent he's talked to.
Yeah.
Why aren't people taking the time to evaluate their position and figure out the best route for them to move forward, whether it's the Burr method or a conventional home style, I think it's called, refinance, renovation loan, where you can renovate an investment property right? You can buy and renovate an investment property. You could buy a conventional 5% down multifamily property, 2, 3, 4 units. You can buy 3.5% down FHA. It's just like there's so many different ways to do it. You don't just need to follow whatever's in the path.
On the YouTube video that you're watching.
On the YouTube video. Well, kudos for those of you that are watching this on YouTube.
Shout out.
Right? But truthfully, I mean, Christian went on a little rant earlier, and it was really fucking awesome. If you guys aren't taking the time to develop a system, figuring out what is your profitability, what does that look like for you, and taking the time to really sit down and plan it out, map it out, not just following whatever's in the news. This 5% program might be the best thing for you. 5% down, Fannie Mae, conventional loan for multifamily, 2 to 4 units here in Maryland, in Pennsylvania. Pretty sure anywhere you're looking to buy. And you can always reach out to us if you have any questions.
Of course.
You guys know where to reach me on Instagram at michael.frank___. On our website at frankoliverco.com. You can read more about this on our blog page under the additional resources tab on our website as well. And you can always reach out and ask questions as you need them.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Christian the Deadhead, and we will see you next time.
Talk to you guys soon. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.